What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 53 of Scary Sundays, special Friday edition, because I'm going to be traveling this Sunday, and I'm going to actually just take 7 days off of doing anything related to work or creating content or anything like that. So to honor that for myself, without skipping a week, I wanted to make this video for you guys today on Friday. If you want to stay true to it, though, you can just save this and watch it on Sunday. Pretend that I'm talking to you on Sunday. So today's topic is about a recent sort of revelation that I had. I mean, revelation is a strong word because, you know, I feel like as with many lessons in life, we often just, oh, there's a huge ass truck coming this way. Big ass. What's that? Front door? Yep, front door's fine. It's a UPS truck. Where was I? Yeah, so with many lessons in life, you know, like very rarely is do we, at least in my opinion, do we come to some crazy revelation that we've never thought of or that never occurred to us before. But I feel like it's just that we forget, right? Like we forget these like key principles and key things in life. And something that I had forgotten lately was just the importance of being open to life, like actually being open to surrendering to what life has in store for you, to what life has to offer to you, and not trying to control everything. And this is definitely a balance because, you know, if you just are constantly surrendering all the time to the point of never having any sort of plan or, you know, goals or anything, I don't know, maybe that could work for some people. But I know for me, like, it's really important for me to feel like I have a purpose, to feel like I'm getting out of bed in the morning to do something that's important, that's adding value. That's really important for me. And to feel like my actions are not just arbitrary, but are aligned with something. And I think something that I kind of lost track of a little bit was getting so restricted on my purpose being a material thing. Like, and you guys might have heard me talk about this before, but, you know, for the last few years, like for quite a long time now, my like whole goal in life has been to play Coachella. Like that's been my whole goal has been like, how can I get onto Sahara stage at Coachella, you know, in front of 30,000 people and do a sound healing and bring this healing intention to a mainstream music festival like that. And what I realized was that being so single-minded on that goal, like I think it's important to commit yourself to something and focus on it. But when that thing is so specific and so in the material world that it causes you to sort of get blinders to other things that may be meant for you or that may be nourishing for you or that may fill your soul with joy, that's when I find that you end up sort of closing the door on other possibilities. And I noticed that happening for me where I got so enmeshed in this idea of I want to be a great artist. And the way that I'll know that I'm a great artist is if it's validated, right, by the outside world, by Coachella booking me or whatever it is, and, you know, making lots of money and being famous and having a career. And I noticed that I got so focused on that other areas of my life that probably would help the art, like my spiritual passions, my spiritual pursuits, you know, other areas like meditation that I'm really into, that I want to coach and teach. I didn't let myself take on those identities because I felt like it was somehow like I was being unfocused or I wasn't just like on my path. And I feel like in our culture, especially in the States, in the West, it's so individualistic and there's so much of this like hustle mentality and this ambition, especially if you're like into self-development, you know, it's like you got to like focus on your goals and make sacrifices. And I'm not disagreeing with any of that on face value. Like I think all that's true, but I think the key that I'm coming to realize is, why do you have those goals? Like, what value are you trying to get out of those achievements? And how can you live in a way where you're prioritizing getting that value and letting go of the physical form that delivers it, that it shows up in? So using myself as an example, like why do I want to play at Coachella? Because I want to feel like my music is impacting people's lives, because I want to feel validated, because I want to feel like a great artist. Well, how else can I just today, without like putting my happiness and joy off until that future distant date that I play Coachella, and holding myself hostage, where I won't let myself feel like I've made it, or like I'm successful or deserving or worthy of my own love or appreciation until that happens? How can I just today live in a way where I'm prioritizing those things? Well, I can make music. I can give myself props and say the fact that I show up every day and make art is what makes me a great artist, right? Like, I don't need the validation of the outside world. The fact that I'm sharing that with people and facing that fear, right, of sharing the art, means that I'm putting myself out there, and that's going to change someone's life. Like, I'm doing my part of that job, and then letting go of how big that gets or how famous that makes me. And I know for myself, like, this is really counter to so much of how I have lived my life, because, you know, I up until like very recently, this whole video was kind of precipitated by this experience I had working with mushrooms a few weeks ago, where I went in with the intention of like, what should I create to feel the most fulfilled? And where should I live? And what should I do to make money? Like, all these very specific questions, very human questions. And rather than getting answers to those questions, the meta answer I got was, stop worrying so much about having those answers. Just pay attention to what fills you with joy and do more of that. Like, it's very simple. And then let go of where that takes you. And that's so counter to a lot of what I feel like is programmed into us by our society, and even very well-meaning self-development people. And I'll just caveat by saying, I'm not saying that this way, my way, is right. I think everybody has to figure out their own way to live life. But I know for me, getting so tied up with this idea, this image of success, this image of what it'll mean to be successful, and then sort of like working towards that and wearing my sacrifice as a badge of honor, as if somehow that's a good use of your life, is to like not feel fulfilled in the process of trying to attain something that's later going to fulfill you, as if that makes any fucking sense at all. I know that's something that has been a thing that I've dealt with and struggled with. And what I'm coming to realize is, it's funny, I'm just like, the irony of recording this, because I'm in this really nice suburban neighborhood, like where like everyone that lives here definitely worked really hard to like achieve the ability to like live in these houses. So it's just interesting. But but I would argue that the people here who are happiest, right, the people who are living here in this nice Connecticut neighborhood, who are actually waking up and feeling happy and not hating their lives, are the ones that have focused on doing things that fulfill them, on investing in relationships that fulfill them, on living in places that fulfill them. And then the wealth has just been a byproduct of that. It's been a bonus. So that's kind of my mission for myself now, is really reorienting my mindset from, okay, yes, like, it's cool to say that I'm an ambitious person as a badge of honor, and it makes me feel like I'm a hard worker and all this stuff, and I have discipline or whatever. But I'm not so sure that ambition really, to me, is like a positive quality. Ambition for its own sake, like ambition in service of something, I think can be very useful and constructive. But if it's just to achieve something that you think is going to give you fulfillment, I just think that's like a shit way to live your life. At least for me, I've realized, like, I always get the most fucking depressed when I live that way. And it's just funny that I keep going back to those. I have to keep learning that lesson, because the programming within me is like so strong. Like, you got to be working hard and like blah, blah, blah. And again, not saying that you don't have to work hard or any of that. But if the hard work doesn't feel fulfilling, if it doesn't feel exciting and engaging more often than not, then it's like, what's the point of it? You know, to prove to yourself and a bunch of other people who are all also going to be dead in 100 years that you're cool. Like, it just doesn't make any sense at all. And yeah, I'm like, you guys can probably pick up, I'm like very passionate about this right now because it was such a light bulb moment where I was like, who gives a fuck, you know? And I was trying to figure out whether or not to go to Thailand to go do this Tantra teacher training, which is like this 1 month long program where I'll be going super deep into my spiritual practice, meditating a lot, and also learning how to facilitate sessions and lead people through energy work and things of that nature. And I was really conflicted about whether or not to go because my deep down, I just was like, that seems like a cool thing to do. I want to do that. And there's a part of me that's like, I don't need to have a reason for why. I just want to go do it. Like, it seems fulfilling. And then there's another part of me that's like, dude, you said that you want to be an artist and you want to make music, and now you're getting distracted by all this other shit. Like, when are you going to get focused? When are you going to figure it out? And what I realized is that second voice, it seems like that's the mature voice, but that's actually just the voice of fear. That's the voice of what if. That's the voice of closing yourself down because you can't handle the uncertainty of being a human being. You can't handle the uncertainty of the world, which is constantly changing. And the former voice that's like, I just want to try this. I don't know what's going to happen, but it seems interesting. It seems cool. And it seems challenging, but in a way that is engaging to me. I want to try it. That's the voice of your intuition. Like, that's the voice that if you follow, in my experience, whenever I have followed that voice, without knowing what's going to come next, it leads me to the next place. And I just think that, you know, a lot of us, we have not been in the habit of listening to that voice because we haven't been encouraged to listen to that voice, you know, without getting conspiratorial or whatever, but we just haven't been encouraged. We're not taught to trust that voice. We're taught to listen to everybody else's voice, which, by the way, is just a projection of their own fears that they're putting onto us, rather than trusting that intuition and that intuitive voice that if you have the courage to authentically live in line with your values and authentically go for the experiences that fill your soul with joy, not the ones that mentally make sense in some plan that you constructed based on your own, you know, limited stories about yourself and other people's, but the voice that actually is telling you to do the things that make you feel fulfilled. If you can actually just do that, to trust that your life will turn out in a way that rewards you, to trust that following what feels good is the smartest thing you can do, and it doesn't make you weak or undisciplined. And you know, just to steelman this argument, right? Somebody could hear this and say, well, if you only ever follow what feels good, then you're just a hedonist and you're never going to get anything done because, like, to accomplish anything great requires commitment and work. And I agree with all of that, but I would just respond to that and say, are you really following what feels good deep down to your body if you're constantly escaping to short-term gratification and short-term pleasures? And my opinion about that is that if you really tune in and you really get sensitive to your body, you will see that eating a bag of chips or whatever, nothing, I'm not trying to say there's anything against, I'm just using this example, right? Like eating French fries every day because it feels good, and Ashish told me to just follow what feels good, to pay attention to how your body actually feels while you're doing it, and especially after. And does that actually feel good, or is that just an escape for some other emotional problem that maybe the reason the problem's there in the first place is because the rest of your life you're not following what truly feels good? So this is my rant about just not needing to have such a fucking plan all the time and allowing yourself to be free to explore life, because that's what we're on this planet to do. Like, anybody that tells you that in order to have a fulfilling life, you need to do this, this, and this, just like be suspicious of that, because nobody has the answer. Like, we're all figuring it out as we go. And the answer is always going to come from your own intuition, you know? And some people are on this earth to build businesses and be super, super ambitious and make a ton of money and like gain a lot of wealth. Some people are doing that for dysfunctional reasons because they want attention. Some people are doing it because they genuinely love that game. Like, they love it. Like, I always say, like, you know, for those of you who are familiar, Gary Vee's an example. He's super inspiring. I'm not inspired by the fact that he's like a multimillionaire. I just when I watch his videos, I can feel he's so in alignment with himself, you know? And that's what I think people are drawn to, and people like that, more so than the fact that he's a successful businessman. And that may be your path, but it may not as well. And I think that's the point, is just being open to being flexible and being open and allowing yourself the grace to change your mind and to be confused and to not know what's going on. And understanding that confusion and uncertainty is an inherent and beautiful part of being human. Because if we were never confused or never unsure about things, life would get boring super quick. So that's a scary Sunday/Friday for this week. And I will see you guys in about 10 days when I'm back from my travels. Peace.